The Blue Drum of Deceit, a true crime investigation. Dive into a chilling tale of love, betrayal, and a gruesome murder hidden within a blue plastic drum. This is not just a story, it's an investigation into the dark corners of the human heart, where superstition and obsession collide with deadly consequences. The scene is a government morgue in Meerut. A heavy blue plastic drum sits ominously. It's the kind used to store water, but this one holds a far more sinister secret. Police struggle to open it, finally resorting to power tools. Inside, they find cement. More cutting reveals the unthinkable: the dismembered remains of a 29-year-old man named Saurabh. This isn't your typical crime scene. It's a puzzle box of horror, a testament to the twisted minds behind it. How did Saurabh end up in this state? Who could commit such a heinous act? The answers lie buried deep within a web of deceit and forbidden desires. Our story unfolds with three central figures: Saurabh, the victim, Muskan, his wife, and Sahil Shukla, the obsessive lover. Their lives intertwine in a deadly dance of passion and betrayal, fueled by superstition and a desperate need for control. Saurabh, once a merchant navy man, found love with Muskan in 2016. Their marriage, against his family's wishes, seemed like a fairy tale. But fairy tales often have dark undercurrents, and this one is no exception. While Saurabh worked abroad, Muskan found herself alone and vulnerable. Enter Sahil, a neighbor with a penchant for the occult. Their friendship blossomed into a passionate affair, filling the void left by Saurabh's absence. But Sahil wasn't just any lover. He was deeply superstitious, believing in messages from his deceased mother through social media. This belief would become a crucial element in the unfolding tragedy. Muskan, cunning and manipulative, exploited Sahil's superstition. Using a fake Snapchat account posing as Sahil's mother, she encouraged his love for her, solidifying his obsession. These digital whispers from beyond the grave fueled Sahil's conviction that Muskan was his destiny. He became consumed by the idea of possessing her, leading him down a dark and irreversible path. Driven by jealousy and Muskan's subtle manipulation, Sahil proposed a drastic solution: murder. He convinced Muskan that Saurabh was an obstacle to their happiness, a problem that needed to be permanently eliminated. The planning began, a chilling testament to their cold-blooded intent. They researched methods online, purchased knives, and devised a plan to dispose of the body. Their actions were calculated, devoid of remorse. Saurabh, unaware of the deadly plot against him, returned to Meerut to celebrate Muskan's birthday. He arrived on February 24th, eager to spend time with his wife and daughter. The initial plan was to drug Saurabh and stab him on Muskan's birthday, February 25th. However, Saurabh refused to drink alcohol that night, foiling their first attempt, but their resolve remained unshaken. They rescheduled the murder for March 3rd, coinciding with their daughter's last exam. With the child out of the house, they put their plan into motion. Muskan prepared Saurabh's favorite dish, kofta, laced with sedatives. As Saurabh drifted into unconsciousness, Muskan summoned Sahil. The scene was set for a gruesome act of betrayal and violence. The knives were drawn, and the unthinkable was about to happen. Sahil, driven by his twisted beliefs, insisted that Muskan strike the first blow. He placed the knife in her hand and forced her to stab Saurabh in the chest. The act was brutal, fueled by a combination of passion and superstition. After Saurabh's death, Sahil dismembered the body, separating the head and palms from the torso. He believed that by cutting off the palms, he could sever Saurabh's fate and prevent any future sins. The dismembered remains were stuffed into a blue plastic drum. Cement was poured in, creating a makeshift tomb, a desperate attempt to conceal their crime. The drum became a symbol of their guilt, a heavy burden they couldn't escape. The next day, they cleaned the house with bleach, attempting to erase any trace of their heinous act. But some stains can never be washed away, especially those etched in blood and betrayal. To create an alibi, Muskan and Sahil embarked on a fake vacation to Shimla, Manali, and Kasol. Muskan used Saurabh's phone to message his family, pretending that he was alive and well. This elaborate charade was designed to buy them time, to delay suspicion and investigation. But their lies were built on a foundation of sand, destined to crumble under scrutiny. The facade began to crack when Muskan called her mother, seeking help to withdraw money from Saurabh's account. Her mother grew suspicious, questioning why Muskan needed the money when Saurabh was supposedly with her. Muskan's desperate attempt to access Saurabh's funds exposed her lies. Her mother, sensing something was terribly wrong, alerted the authorities. The game was up. The police arrived at the house, discovering the heavy, suspicious drum. Saurabh's brother also arrived, adding pressure to the situation. Under interrogation, Muskan and Sahil confessed to their crime. Sahil claimed he acted out of love for Muskan and a desire to fulfill his mother's wishes. But the truth was far more complex, a tangled web of obsession, manipulation, and cold-blooded murder. The most shocking revelation came when Muskan admitted she never intended to marry Sahil. She had simply enjoyed his company and the thrill of the affair. Sahil, the devoted lover who committed murder for her, was nothing more than a pawn in her game. This twist exposed the true depth of Muskan's manipulation. She had used Sahil's obsession to her advantage, orchestrating Saurabh's murder without any intention of reciprocating his love. Muskan and Sahil were arrested and imprisoned for life. Their crime, driven by passion and superstition, resulted in the tragic loss of Saurabh's life and the devastation of his family. The innocent daughter, caught in the crossfire of her parents' twisted desires, was left an orphan, her life forever scarred by the actions of those who should have protected her.